Legend of.
That's it.
We're live, I think. Yep.
Hello.
Sick. All right, so this is the first ever The Legend of podcast.
Legend of Podcast.
I leave a
like
gap
it.
there because I don't want to call it The Legend of Podcast, but The Legend of Podcast. Because obviously it's the legend of a bunch of things that end with the legend of. Like Zelda,
Like Zelda.
Tarzan, and all this legend of...
I dig. I like it.
Can you think of more? There's heaps more.
There's heaps more. We did this
Shit.
before.
The way I want to open up is we're going to do rapid fire questions just to build a profile of Maromus. I am Ben Brightside and this is Maromus. We are actually brothers
Hello,
from
internets.
the same parents. So it's an easy guess to get because you sort of have to support me.
Come and make sure you're on my show.
Yeah, well, you
You're
can be
obligated.
on every episode if you want. We'll get guests at some point, I guess.
You can sit between us.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'll get a more grandiose like chair, maybe even a desk like Conan style, and you'll be like
Sure.
shunned down.
Can I get out, play some drums and stuff in the betweens?
No, you're what's his name?
Oh,
You're the fat dude. You're not the
I'm fat.
Roots.
No, I want to be the Roots.
We'll get some cool guys to be the Roots.
Wait, I'm not cool?
Cool. No, not like the Roots. Anyway, rapid fire questions.
Alright.
Just if you can't think of the exact one, just
Yeah, sure.
the last one you thought of. They're all lasts. So the last game you played, video game, because that's what we do here.
Idle Champions of the Sword Coast. Idle game based on Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah,
Played it at work today.
that's cool. One of those games, like
Yeah.
tablet game.
No, it's on tablet and PC, but
Yeah.
I just put it on the laptop while I'm working and just accrue my coins and things while I'm working. Type of game that you can walk away from for 20 minutes
Yeah,
and come back
yeah.
and you're not dead. So.
It's not like one of the freemium pay to wins, or
No, yes,
not like
and no.
Clash of Clans,
You
or
can pay for it stuff, I guess, but I've
Yeah.
not paid a cent and I've played 40 hours or something of it already.
oh, I got too curious. It's meant to be rapid fire. All right, last movie you watched.
Shit, what did we watch?
Last one you can remember watching.
Pass.
Oh my god.
I know, I haven't watched any movies lately.
TV show.
TV show, That 70s Show.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were watching that when I was over.
Yeah.
Last book you read? Can't even think
of
of a movie. I guess books take longer.
book I'm reading at the moment.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss.
Reading or listening to?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
You do a combo?
Yeah, you could.
Alright, rapid fire. Last podcast you listened to? This
This
one doesn't count. It's not
Acquisitions
ideal.
Incorporated.
Oh, yeah. D&D,
Penny
man.
Arcade
You're all,
stuff. Yeah, I'm
all over
I'm
it.
all over the fantasy stuff. at the moment.
and song.
Last song I listened to.
Yeah. Did you song on the way here or
No, podcast on the way here. I had a
Ah.
song at work. Would have been something by Steve Vai. I had a Steve Vai station on today.
Okay, cool. Well, so that gives you a bit of an idea of who you are.
Awesome.
Put these cue cards here.
Now I know who I am. Thank you.
No,
I can find myself.
you know, if people are listening now, they know you fucking love D&D.
Yeah.
That's
A
one
lot of
thing.
D&D and fantasy stuff lately, for sure.
I started playing another game. I forgot to tell you
Lovely.
because I want to quit the online one I'm playing. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
sure.
just all battle. It's like
Yeah.
a little bit of role play and explore and ask some questions and then straight into like initiative.
Yeah.
So I got the chance to join. Actually, well, I can plug it, I guess, because they're gonna stream it. We did a session 0, like down at, like way down south.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I joined it because one of my mates is on it,
Yeah.
and they're called Tabletop Fables. So you can follow them on Twitch and YouTube. But yeah, so that should be good fun.
So you did like a character creation session for session 0?
No, I used the same character as the
Alright,
Monday night
yeah.
one. I leveled him back down and
Yeah,
started
sure.
over because I'm going to quit the other one. Because I want to start doing stand-up again, and that's all Monday nights.
Alright.
Because we're in Adelaide,
Yeah.
and that's the only fucking night.
Only
open
now that
mics
they
are
do
on.
it, right?
But yeah, so you've just been playing the D&D type of games, wanting to get into a game.
Yeah. Yeah, no campaigns at the moment. But yeah, I've got a couple characters ready and waiting in the wings if I get the chance to.
Yeah. The good thing about the game that I'm playing is that it's all full of like fanatics, like you are.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fanatic. Like I'm semi-interested, and I was talking to them, and they're all diehards.
That's awesome.
So hopefully
Good fun.
we can start our game up,
Yeah.
and maybe just even under their banner.
Yeah.
because they're doing Monday. I'm on the Tuesday night game. They got a Monday night game and a Tuesday night game set in the same world.
Okay.
Like 5 different players on both games, and
Yeah,
then they've
wow.
got like a Thursday night one, which is a post-apocalyptic one.
Yeah,
So I think that's all starting next week.
Man,
So-
getting that many adults together for a couple of different times of the week. That's
Well, yeah,
amazing.
you just need to know the right people, and we
Yeah,
didn't.
for sure.
Like I
Absolutely.
spent my 20s partying instead of playing Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons, and now I want to. Now I'm
Now you
settled
wanna
down.
sit
I want
and
to.
play Dungeons and Dragons,
play
you've got no one-
Um,
Are these comedians and stuff too? Then
no, they're just all fanatics.
just all for now.
Just-
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that a few of them will want to join another game, perhaps,
cool.
or if they know more people
Yeah,
and they want to start up
Yeah,
another
usually-
game of the week, then we'll roll into that one because
If
I'd
people
love
are
to
in the
do it
world,
here
they like
because
know people.
yeah, because it's funny because when we started, we ran into all the streaming problems with
Yeah.
like green screens and lighting and mics and stuff.
Good learning
And-
experience. We can call
And
it.
they're at the point now where they're making the same mistakes I did.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
rolled up and they're just like, this webcam looks horrible. I was like, it's your lighting, man. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had this
absolutely.
exact problem. That's why the green screen's not working. And then they were trying to get several webcams
Yeah.
just plugged in at once. And the same thing when I did the poker night is you can only have so many on each bus, which is just one of those problems you don't sort of...
Until you've encountered it, you don't even think ahead to it, do you?
Yeah, you just don't think about it at all.
And it was a lot of trial and error for the poker game, the couple of D&D games that we did, just getting like the dice cam and the card cams all set up perfect.
Yeah,
and
the
whatnot.
card cams are a nightmare.
Yeah.
When I did my research, I found out that live poker matches don't broadcast live.
Sure.
Ever.
Okay.
Because obviously with the pros, there's a lot of cheating
really?
worries as well.
So
Like you could have a pager in your shoe and someone's just like, if I buzz you, I'm watching live, then whatever.
yeah, okay.
And they'll cut in and out. Obviously, it's a bit edited.
Yeah.
But
That's interesting, yeah.
yeah, but even when it's like live, there's still maybe a 2-minute delay and they're editing
Sure.
on the fly because
Wow.
they're pros.
Because they're pros, yeah.
And we're just
Full
like,
set.
yeah, let's just have it on all
Let's
the
just do-
time.
yeah, let's just do
But
it
we won't be able to
actually
look at it
live.
to see if
Yeah.
it's working because we are playing the game. And yeah, what a nightmare.
Yeah, those type of things you kind of need a producer standing by
Oh,
doing that
yeah,
type of stuff,
that-
and then the rest of the table doing the game.
Yeah, so when I went down to D&D, they had one guy sitting on the laptop and watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I've just never had that guy.
No,
Like,
that's
the only
right.
reason I've gotten people to come and stream with us is because they're playing and part
Well,
of the
we
game.
talked about that once with the D&D game. You were going to
Yeah, I wanted
produce
to,
it,
but
you also wanted to play, and we
Yeah,
also
it's just-
needed to make up. The
I don't want to
numbers a
sit
little
there
bit
for 5 hours and not
and
play.
not play. Yeah, I know.
But they've got a good because they've got the 2 different nights
Sure.
or 3 different nights. One of them DMs a couple different nights, and one of them does the other night. So they
so you can rotate in and out a bit.
switch around. Yeah.
Makes it a bit easier on everyone that way. Everyone gets to play. Everyone gets to do their thing.
Yeah. So that's good. So
That's
tabletop fables.
Yeah.
Um,
Tabletop fables.
yeah, if they need more people, I'll get you into that. But
Yeah,
it's
sweet.
it's a long drive from where you are,
Whereabouts is it?
Flinders.
Wow,
Yeah, so it's like
it's a long way south.
yeah. So you're 25 minutes north from me,
Yeah.
and they're 25 minutes south.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I didn't immediately tell you like
for
get
sure,
in. I
man.
was like,
That's
oh,
all right.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna try and meet people, and you know,
And
I
then
know,
get them
like-
to come to us.
yeah, exactly. Like, because I'm halfway between you and them, so
Yeah.
hopefully we can start our own game.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So there's that.
Mm.
That's one thing. That's one topic down. So how are we doing for time? Yeah, well, that's good.
And that kind of wraps up the episode. Well done. Bag it. We've got it done.
No, this is the first one, so pardon my arms and pardon my faffing around. I do have a list of topics here, though.
Ooh, he's prepared.
Uh,
He comes prepared.
the first thing I wrote is just daddy, because you're going to be a dad.
Oh yeah, man.
I haven't properly congratulated you on the internet.
On the yeah, on
I
the
did it
internet.
personal, but it didn't count because we weren't
Doesn't count
streaming
'cause
it.
not,
Nobody
not
else knew that
recorded anyway,
I
for
say
sure.
congratulations. No, I was.
Thank you
no,
very
I
much.
wrote it down because I was thinking like, say you adopted a 10-year-old
Sure.
and they'd never played a single video game.
Gosh.
I was
What
just
a
thinking,
terrible upbringing.
hypothetically, what's the first one you show them?
Ooh.
Is it something new?
that's
Is it
tough.
like one of the ones
Nah,
you grew
I'm-
up with?
I'm
Because
gonna
you have like
be-
this whole mind
Yeah.
to like sculpt. Like if your kid now is going to grow up, say like they were 4 or 5 now, they'd be already playing Fortnite and all their friends would be talking about it. And
Yeah, right.
like the culture's going to shape it. But say you just adopted someone that never played any video games, you got to, and they're competent enough to play any video game.
All right, what I like, I've seen this on the internet a couple of times where other people have done it and recorded it with their Facebooks or whatever, where they get their kids and kids are just getting to the age. I mean, these are gamer parents that are sitting up playing COD every night or whatever, and they put them on an Atari and they go, no, you're learning from the beginning. You're going back to where it all began. You're going to play Pong, then you're going to play Frogger, and you don't get to play the original Mario until you've beaten all these Atari 2600 games. Then you can go to the NES, then you can go to the SNES. Kind of like that. You're training up a young gamer there to enjoy games as a art form as well. And I think those young minds can still get away with playing these games that a lot of, like, let's say you've never played a video game, and I put you on Space Invaders. You're gonna go, what the fuck is this, man? Like, give me some graphics. I want it to look like the latest Marvel movies. I want it to look, I know the CGI capabilities of the movie industry and stuff.
Yeah, like I could make a better game than Space Invaders
absolutely.
At this point.
Make a better game than Space Invaders, we'd both be really, really rich, man. Like, that game's still...
Well, with today's technology, you could make a better game than Space Invaders just off the cuff. But when I got the
kid...
Yeah, when I got the SNES Classic, I played it for a couple days, and I was like, the games that I did play as a kid, I played a bit for nostalgia, and I was like, this is cool.
I remember this,
The Mario Kart music, which that was a horrible rendition, I'm going to cut that out. But the ones I didn't play, I tried to play, and they don't hold up. I just couldn't do it.
Sure.
Like, they're really, like, I tried to play Mario RPG, and it was so slow and just like it looks terrible. And I'm sure there's I might catch a lot of flack because that might be other people's.
Yeah, other people might have grown up with that.
Their nostalgia
their favorite game for sure.
Let me just adjust the mic here. It's just dropped. And they're gonna be like, no, if you play it through, it'll be great, but I just couldn't do it. So I gave the SNES Classic to our nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And they just loved it. They just got hooked on Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, well,
and I just kind of want to tell them, like, you have no idea. I want to buy your Switch when you're old enough to not destroy it.
Right. Yeah. One of them will eat Joy-Con within 3 hours of getting it, I can almost guarantee.
Well, yeah, like the two eldest ones are great, but our sister had 5 in a row, so we got to wait till the youngest one is old enough to appreciate something that I'm buying for all of them.
It's a nice little stable they got there for sure. But yeah, no.
So you take them back?
I think so.
One game, pick one game. Which is the very first one? Some bloody Pitfall.
Yeah, I was
Space Invaders.
We're talking 2600. We're talking Atari, like
Pong.
but they got a few newer ones. Like, you can get like Paperboy and stuff. But I reckon it have to be one of the classics. Have to be Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Let's do something that's been around forever. Everyone knows
There's
it.
a good chance. Like, you can get Pac-Man on your phone and you could probably just play it.
Atari 2600 Pac-Man's kind of shit though compared to the arcade Pac-Man. Pitfall. Original good. Pitfall. Now they'll rage quit and throw it out the window.
Pitfall's hard.
That game's still hard for me for sure. But then progress them through, getting to play some 2600 games, then through to the SNES games.
Yeah.
Original Mario. And nowadays we've got the classic consoles as well, so it makes it a lot easier to
chuck in the NES Classic. Apparently, I heard that someone's data mined the Switch online service, and they found a bunch of SNES titles coming.
Yeah, I saw the headlines.
So I'm more excited for that, because I tried to play some of the NES games on the Switch Classic, and just, I don't know, like I said, they just don't hold up that well.
Do you remember playing the NES games much when you were little? I know we did. Obviously,
the original Marios, and Duck Hunt was a lot of fun with the gun.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of... See, I remember the NES probably better than you, being a couple years older.
Yeah.
I guess there's probably a bit more nostalgia there for me when you were probably a little bit young, maybe.
I mean...
Like the same... Do you remember our Atari? Like, you remember some of those early games?
Yeah, I remember playing, like the track and field game.
Yeah.
Like, rotating the joystick for, like, the hammer throw, and then, like, press it right at the right moment.
Yeah. Back when controls were easy, it had a stick and a button. One stick, one button.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I remember being in high school. Do you know how many dirty games the Atari had?
Yeah, yeah.
It was out of control. In high school, someone found, like, a pack of 100 Atari games.
Sure.
I reckon 13 were dirty.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, like a little cowboy running to a woman, and it's just like... like 13 pixels of mound with one little pixel of nipple, and then it just moves up and down as she like cries out for help, and he is walking. It's like 20 pixels of cowboy, and 3 of them are bobbing schlong.
Yeah, wow.
And you've got to like run towards it. I couldn't believe it, because like now I understand that anyone can make a game, release it digitally, but these had to be pressed.
These were cartridges. Yeah, that's
they
right.
They had to be pressed into a cartridge, and like who did that? And was it
E.T.
on Atari?
Yeah.
They got buried.
Yeah. The worst video game in history.
Didn't they bury a bunch of cartridges just because they didn't sell? Because they just dumped them in a hole?
Yeah. They dumped them in a big landfill.
If you don't know the story, look that up. Cause,
it's a great little story. The cartridges are worth ridiculous amounts of money if you can get your hands on them nowadays too, because they're that game.
Yeah, it's someone's...
Yeah, they dug up the landfill.
Oh, they did dig it up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure... I think people were stealing from the landfill for years before it, but I think they actually went and dug it all up at some stages, video game history.
That's so funny.
As well. I wonder how well the cartridges held up. No biodegradable plastics back then, I'm sure. Probably fine, just...
just blowing it
back in.
Slot it back in and it's
away,
fine.
Right?
That's so funny. What else we got? Let's move off. Oh, so, obviously at the beginning of the year... all the 2018 most played, most downloaded lists have started coming out.
Yeah.
The ones I found funniest were there's one that was sad, which was the most played game on Switch was Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. And that's just like due to no big releases. Well, I guess until Pokemon and Smash, which were very much the end of the year.
Yeah.
But it's also funny because Fortnite looks horrible on the Switch. I couldn't get over it.
I played it probably twice on the Switch just to see what it was like in a handheld, and it's dreadful.
I think the handheld is probably okay because of the low resolution.
Sure, but when you put
doesn't
it in,
matter.
when you
I play a lot on at my desk where my computer is.
Sure.
I play it through my computer because I stream it sometimes. I open them both, like the PC one and the Switch one, just to have a side by side.
Yeah,
and it looks like when Netflix, like when you've got your bad bandwidth, and Netflix lowers the resolution. That's what it looked like.
Oh wow.
And the other one that I found funny was Job Simulator on VR.
Yeah, sure.
Was the most played VR game, or most downloaded VR game for PS4.
So just PS4 VR.
Yeah, PSVR. I don't think I didn't look at the Steam one and all that, but PSVR down.
Probably some porn game from Japan anyway for the Vive and stuff. Have you seen them lately too? There's a few of them.
No, but I really want to Vive just for porn and porn games. Yeah, it's
there's a lot of
most immersive experience.
As risky as you can get without actually being pornography games coming out at the moment for Vive and whatnot. They make headlines all the time. Yeah, Job Simulator, that's not even a new game either.
I know it's a novelty game, but like just the concept of finishing your job, going home
and
putting on a headset and putting on a game called Job Simulator, it made me laugh so much when I read it. And then I haven't played the game, I don't have the PSVR, but when I looked into it, I was like, okay, it makes sense. It's one of those, it's like the Surgeon Simulator and all those other games that you throw shit around and
it's one of those things, you stand in this cubicle and you try to figure out what you can do. Like you pick up a donut and you put it in the photocopier, and then suddenly it starts photocopying more donuts and you just start winging them over the cubicle. It's a silly, fun game. I really enjoyed it, but being the most downloaded from the PSVR is still mind-blowing.
Is it free?
I don't think so. I think that's a paid-for title.
Ah, yeah. Maybe it's as cheap as being free, or it was at some point.
Maybe it was a good sale.
Might have been on the monthly games or something.
No, it definitely wasn't a monthly game because I would definitely have it if it was.
Okay.
Because I get all the monthly stuff and I've got the VR, so I'll grab anything for free on the VR.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's paid for. I don't know. There has to be some reason why it just skyrocketed there for a while.
People just want to simulate their job, man. A bunch of homeless people that have just been living in VR too long. They're like, God, I got to get used to the workforce again. Oh, here we go. This is the perfect title. Yeah. Well, I'm exhausted on this VR porn.
You can be in an office. You can be a mechanic. You can do all these other jobs. Like just padding out the resume, man. Imagine that. I've done this job for 65 hours.
That'd be so funny if someone using that on their resume.
So this Job Simulator, man. I've been a mechanic. I changed tires.
I've been a full-blown mechanic. Oh, do you know how to change a spark plug? Yeah, you just sort of throw it at the thing, and then if you get it in the hit box, it just sticks.
Just works, right?
Yeah. Why not?
That's great.
2019 then. So, what were the other ones? Oh, what I found interesting with the PS4. I'm looking down. I'll look at the camera, but I'll hold the thing here. PS4, the most downloaded games were COD,
Sure.
before Red Dead, and then Spider-Man before God of War, and then GTA 5 again, like for the
GTA
20th year.
Five,
Right?
it's crazy, isn't it? It's such a beast. It's be 5 years old now, probably.
At least.
I bought it on PS3. Yeah, so that's got to be tons of years old now. I bought it on PS3, PC, and PS4, so I'm part of the problem, I guess.
Yeah.
Totally part of the problem. But it just still keeps hitting those numbers and still ends up in all these lists almost every year.
Yeah, it's crazy. People love crime, man.
Yeah.
As much as they love pretending to be at a job, they love
They rather blow stuff up and steal cars.
beat up hookers and stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, like the online has some legs. The amount of updates they've done and the different sort of stories and things they've added to that, they put a lot into keeping that online mode going and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just the race car and the aerial racetrack stuff had me going back to it, and I hadn't played it for 6 months, maybe longer. And then I saw all these cool racetracks people were making, and I'm like, I need to play that. Jumped in, played it pretty solid for a couple months again, and then...
Yeah.
It's a game, you just put it down, come back when there's something cool that you like, it's been updated, been added to it, put it back down, walk away for 6 months. It's going to be there when you come back. It's always there when you come back.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Red Dead would be the new thing, but I don't think it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's a different genre. People just
Online's
fucking love crime, man.
Yeah.
They just want to be criminals.
I think the Red Dead Online, it looks like I haven't played much of that at all, really. And I thought I'd play a bunch of the online, seeing as how much I played GTA
It's still
and
sort of
whatnot.
beta or alpha or whatever, isn't it? Though?
No,
Like-
it's full launch. It did its beta time and now it did its proper launch and whatnot. But it's a slow burn. It's not as action packed. You're racing around on horses and lassoing people for fun, throwing them in front of train tracks and doing all that sort of, instead of jets and airplanes and helicopters falling out of the sky and rocket launchers and whatnot. A bolt action rifle is pretty cool, but a rocket launcher is a bit cooler.
Yeah.
And I think that's always going to be the thing with Red Dead. Being a period piece, it's not going to have...
That's another concept I sort of want to run by you, get your thoughts on, because and I'm just gauging this from the way like the internet sort of portrays video gamers and video games portray themselves on the internet.
Sure.
There's like a whole toxic masculinity, manly sort of element, and that's why COD and GTA I think are always at the top.
Sure.
Because
Which
there's
COD? Curious, out of curiosity.
the latest one.
Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blops.
Because I was about to say Black Ops 3 was free for a while, so I wouldn't have been surprised if that one spiked up there.
Yeah, but this is like the top downloaded.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of people, whenever you see like Nintendo release a game or even like Spider-Man and stuff, you see like the internet comments going, that's kid stuff, or you want to dress up like a cowboy and go around doing stuff.
Yes.
And those are the
I
types
do.
of people that will buy COD
Yeah.
and play
Sure.
GTA
Yeah.
and play Gran Turismo and Need for Speed or whatever, and they're just like, unless it's realistic and makes me slots into my idea of manliness
Yeah.
or being an adult or whatever it is, I feel like there's a big subset of those people on the internet, like FIFA as well, like the sports players, people that like
sure.
they equate these games to what they think being cool is in real life,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason.
It's like
And that's
hanging out at the sports bar watching the real soccer and going home and sitting and playing
FIFA,
men's
and
soccer.
and it makes them
It's the
feel.
same yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna play Yoshi. Yoshi's crafted well, and they're like, oh, let's fucking go. I feel like that subset of people is still really big.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think it came apparent when Battlefield put a woman in its trailer.
Oh, that was
And they
so
love-
ridiculous.
Oh, now the
wasn't it?
Gillette ad. You've seen the Gillette
Yeah,
ad?
the Gillette ad.
God
now too.
damn it!
And everyone's so butthurt about it.
Like if
Again,
if you
that's
don't
certain
even if you
subset.
don't agree with it,
Yeah.
just shut up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like it's an ad.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's an ad.
Oh my god.
People are making ads with messages for decades. There's always someone doing something like that.
Yeah, that's so funny. I love the backlash. There's so many memes against it now.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, Google it. I don't want to rattle off memes that I remember.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's funny about the COD thing too, right? So I play a lot of Destiny, and I'd put Destiny and COD in a similar world. They're both first-person shooters. You both play online. You both play shooting other guns at other people and doing the same kind of stuff. But when I bring up that I play Destiny with these people that play nothing but COD, it's like, oh, that's a kiddie shooter. Because it's space-based and it's magic and that. It's like, no, you need to be war and blood and guts and,
Imagine
it's
having that.
funny.
Imagine having that mindset. Just like
I
you can't
understand
you
it
can't enjoy a
sometimes.
story or a
Absolutely.
fantasy. Like those are the people that that put sports biographies on the list of bestsellers.
Yeah, sure.
I don't ever want, like, I've had people say that to me too, like people I've worked with, because I work in the sportswear industry as a graphic designer, not as anything cool. Still a nerdy job in the cool profession, which just makes everyone think I'm a loser even more. But I've had people say, like, oh yeah, X bloody sports person's new book is great. Don't ever say that to me. I'm never going to read a sports
You're not going to
person.
read it? No.
Like, I'll read biographies,
Yep.
generally probably from comedians and rock stars. People, and only if I
Musicians,
know,
that's generally
because
what I've read.
they get up to shit.
They've had some stories.
They've
Oh,
gone
yeah.
down, like a
Absolutely.
sports person, they're like, yep, we had to wake up at 5 a.m. and had a regimented routine and did. No,
Well, see,
who cares?
Maybe 20
Like,
years ago, some of the sports people would have had some cool stories because they were boozing up and partying and whatnot. But nowadays, it's regimented training.
Yeah.
Like, they're not allowed to have fun because they
And
have
if-
things to win.
And you're never going to get a good story out of, like, Tiger Woods or OJ. OJ's interviews are hilarious because, like, he did it and he knows he did it and he,
Yeah,
knows,
sure.
and he knows everyone knows he did it,
And
but
he
he
knows
can't.
everyone knows.
He can't say it. It's like, hypothetically, if I were to have had a knife on me, and that's the best. Like, watching his, I'm not going to read his book. Are you crazy? Like,
No.
everyone knows that story. And
And
Tiger
how-
Woods isn't going to be like, oh yeah, here's what that girl was into.
Yeah.
All the stuff I want to know. I don't care.
That's right. You're not going to get the real story.
You got good stories, and but they're not going to tell them. And like, yeah, and those are the books that those people read.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can't imagine just being in that mindset of having to look cool. I just want to be silly. Silly fun times.
It's so much more fun.
I know, like I like
Being
D
cool
and
is
D.
like so much hard work, man.
D&D was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was like I got to talk like a half orc, but a happy one.
Did you talk in character the whole time?
Yeah,
that's
it-
fantastic.
I was.
Do they
I'm
encourage
taking.
it at your
I'm
table?
taking lemon tea next time because by the end of talking like this
Oh wow, yeah.
and like
The rest of the table right into the role play as well.
oh, way more than me, man.
That's great.
I was just like,
I mean, there's always two types of
I
games.
am not as into this as the rest of
Yeah,
you, and
wow.
I've really got to force myself to get into it. It is good fun, but unlike
You just
acting,
have to get up
it's-
to their level.
yeah, at least next time it will be live,
Oh yeah,
which I
sure.
think is going to help me a lot. But when it wasn't live, it was just like, wow, there is a part of me that has that masculine brain because
Sure.
of where we grew up
I
and
can't,
whatnot.
I can't be silly or else people are going to think I'm silly.
Yeah, like there's still a part of me that wants to be cool. I want to be the cool guy. Like I want people to think I'm
think you're
cool. But yeah, like
Mostly.
to get past that, like I know I heard a story. Who was it? One of the famous actors. I think it was maybe Ian McKellen or something.
Sure.
Told someone. No, it was the dude from The Good Place, the older one. I remember hearing someone say that he told the younger lady in that
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, yeah. He told the girl that plays the robot lady.
Darcy someone?
Yeah, anyway, I heard her say that
She's fantastic too.
Ted Danson said that acting is embarrassing.
Sure.
And I keep thinking of that, and when I'm playing D&D, I was like, it's embarrassing. It feels embarrassing. But
Sure.
it's not embarrassing. Like anyone that's going to be watching that
okay
is
to be
going to be watching it for you
Absolutely.
doing that. But yeah, it's like it's just weird. Like I've got that part of my brain and that wants to be cool whenever I'm being silly. Like I can be silly in private to the date. Like even now, I'm just like, tone down the silliness. Be cool. Be cool. Yeah, and just imagine that being your whole mind.
Yeah.
Your whole mind is just like fucking can't enjoy Lord of the Rings. It's for babies.
Kid stuff. Child stories.
It's crazy.
Written
Like
by
I watched
a
the Pokemon
professor.
movie yesterday. It was great.
Yeah. Was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, that
It's like
bit
a
at the end that
reboot,
everyone
right?
complains about isn't as bad as I thought it
Yeah,
was.
Sure.
Have you seen it? Or you
No,
haven't
no,
watched
no,
it yet?
yeah.
But
I will watch it.
You heard the
Yeah,
feedback
I
where
know,
Pikachu
yeah, Pikachu
talks. It's not. It's really not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
But the end is dumb. All right.
But, like,
But it's all right. Like
it's because it's what? It's a reboot of the first
So, like-
movie, kind of.
well, the first
Or the
the
first
whole
series?
the whole beginning opens the same as the beginning. Like
Of
it's
the,
got
of the show. Or
yeah, the show.
sure.
So Ash, missing out on Pokemon, but
Pokemon,
then it like
yeah.
takes a few different turns, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end. It's not like Mewtwo and Mew. It's he's going after Ho-Oh,
Okay,
and he sees
yeah,
like the legendary dogs, which are all pronounced way different than I thought.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like Entei Suicune. I had no
Sure.
idea as a kid.
Yeah. of
It's
course.
Suicune.
Suicune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 That's why you never
And
make fun of someone who pronounces
Right.
the word incorrectly.
Raikou. Oh my
It means
god.
they learn it from reading.
You know how many words that I've read for so long and maybe even said, and then you find out how they
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
they're
don't worry, I do it all
actually
the time
said.
too.
Like hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Yeah, I read it as
Yeah,
hyperbole,
that's
for,
hyperbole for
years. And then
years,
someone said it
absolutely.
on like a TV show, and I'm just like,
You have that
Face
penny
drops.
drop moment.
I was like, oh my god, I hope I have never said that out loud.
But again, who cares?
Yeah, there was another one that happened to me recently too. Oh, posthumously.
Okay, sure.
Posthumously. Which is, I mean, like, that's where
It's
the words
pretty
come
close.
from. Those are the building blocks.
Yeah, it's pretty close pronunciation anyway.
But yeah. Alright, well, let's move on.
Sure.
Games. Video games.
Games.
So this podcast wants to cover games, movies, TV,
All of the best things.
all of the pop culture nerdy things that you guys will love.
All of the things that we
You
love.
guys will love. And by you guys, I mean us. I don't care what you guys... No, I do. If you're listening to this, I love you. You're
We love
currently
you.
half an hour into Rambling by Two Guys, and I love you for it.
Talk
So
about video games and...
yeah,
video-
so 2018, Cool Guy Games are at the top.
Yep.
2019...
What was your big game of 2018? What was your favourite
See,
game of
I don't
2018?
know. Like, I know I played a lot of games,
Sure.
but I feel like Spider-Man I got really hooked on. That was
Yeah.
really great. God of War I only started playing
Just
at the
recently.
very end of the year.
Yeah.
And I've only played the beginning, but that is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm so keen to play more of it. The worst thing happened when I played the first bit though is the girlfriend said, "Oh my god, I want to watch you play this." 'Cause I was playing in the living room, and
fantastic
normally
game.
I'll take the PlayStation into my bedroom and have
Yep.
longer sessions. So now I'm just like, oh,
I love...
I gotta leave it in the living room, and then she'll be like watching Netflix. I'll be like,
I
could
really
play-
love when my girlfriend gets into my video games as well, but there's two very, very big games that I still haven't finished because her and I would play watching them together.
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human.
Yep.
Absolutely love that game. It's a movie interactive.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's one
yeah.
of those, but it's the best one that they've made so far. Done by the same guys as Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Both also fantastic games. We got about halfway through and we've just never finished that.
Yeah. So we're about halfway through LA Noire, which is
LA
again
Noire, same
very
sort of
similar
thing,
game.
absolutely. And Resident Evil 7 got
Yeah, yeah.
right towards the end. Like probably, I reckon there's another hour or maybe just a bit more. I'm right near the end.
Yeah.
And we just never have time. We've not sat down for game sessions. We'll sit down and watch a couple episodes or something because it's quicker and easier to get into. But I'm never going to say no because she takes an interest in any of the video games that
Exactly.
we start playing. I'm gonna make time for her.
Yeah, you gotta throw kindling on that fire whenever you bloody
yeah,
can.
absolutely.
So yeah, I played one good session of that,
Yep,
and
it's brilliant.
that's why I play the Switch a lot though, because you can pick it up. The sleep mode is
Yeah,
like it's
Impeccable.
a way better feature than the handheld mode for me.
Sure.
Like I love the fact that I can hit the button or
Yep.
like pick up the controller and it is in game in like 20 seconds, and I don't have to wait for any save points or like in betweens. I can hit the sleep button and it's
Now the PlayStation
exactly there.
will
Don't even
do
have to
that.
save.
Maybe not quite as quick, but if you don't have the login set up and the security set up for the PlayStation,
Yeah.
and you're not playing a live game, like God of War, I put that to sleep, and same with Spider-Man. You hit sleep, put it to sleep, and you can press the PlayStation button, log back in, you're straight back into the game.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I've always have login set up on that, and you know,
Everything.
most of the games
It
are
all
live
takes a lot
games.
longer to boot up, just the way discs are, just the way the
Yeah.
processing is, and
Yeah, the
Um,
Switch one is absolutely impeccable.
yeah, and it suspends any. It makes saving irrelevant.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's funny. I know one of my friends lost half of their Pokemon game because what they did was they
Ouch.
played the first 2 or 3 gyms
Mhm.
and then like just put it to sleep, wake it up,
Yeah.
and then there was an update. So they
Oh,
updated it,
so
not
they
realizing
updated
that they
not-
hadn't saved it,
Yeah.
because so many games
Ouch.
automatically save as well. So
Yeah, that's only manual save. Is there any autosave in that in Pokemon? It's all
no,
manual
so I
save,
guess it's just the
old-
same as
Yeah,
the
same as the
Pokemon Yellow.
original.
You just save it when you want to
And I
save
guess
it.
we've been trained so much on certain things now that we
Yeah,
don't
I
need
don't-
to save.
I
that-
don't think about saving at all.
No.
I started playing Kingdom
Funny.
Hearts 1,
Yeah,
the remastered one, just because I never played any of them.
sure.
I wasn't that into it, but there was save points
Yeah.
I was like, God, this is annoying. I wanted to put it down. I'm like, I gotta find a save point. What year is this?
Final Fantasies on like the PlayStation Classic or some of the older Final Fantasies I've gone back and played in recent years too. Like having to go and find a point in the world that's the only place in the
a little glowing green
not the menu,
circle.
No, you have to walk into an actual zone and save it at that one spot.
Yeah, KH was the same.
Oh wow, it's mind blowing to even think that was only a few years ago. Really, we've just been trained on autosave now.
Yeah, we've moved past it.
Just don't turn your console off while this symbol is flashing. That's all, right? And that pops up at the beginning of like every game with autosave. Don't turn off the console when you see this.
And those symbols flash for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could do it if you tried. You'd have to be waiting by the button just for like, there it is!
Bang!
If you just really want to break your console for some reason.
Yeah, and then you
just
everything. Why not?
If you're about to break up with someone and it was their PlayStation.
No,
but you could just take a hammer to it or
take it. Then I have 2 PlayStations.
No, but you'd if you want the whole plausible deniability.
Sure.
Just brick it.
Get a high
That's sadistic. I don't know how we got there. My big game for 2018. Bloody hell, it was a long year. Octopath, I played a lot of that.
Yeah, sure.
That was really good.
I still think God of War is probably one of my number ones. Like God of War,
well, it was the number one. It was Game of the Year.
Yeah, Game of the Year. And I think I put that above, say, Spider-Man, barely. Mainly because Spider-Man is a great version of stuff that's been done before. Like, Spider-Man reminds me much of GTA and other big sandbox games.
Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight, definitely. It's very much like that. So, but it's probably the best version I've played of that style of game. Whereas God of War came out and it's just new. It's similar to a lot of different things, but you can't really compare it side by side to anything, really. It's just so different in so many different ways. I loved it.
And Spider-Man did have a few big downs for me. Like, I loved it. But it was also like Breath of the Wild. You get into it and you're just like, oh, I'm hooked. This is like so much fun, exploring and stuff. And then, building up, like powering up. And then you get to the end and you're just like, it's a little easy.
Sure.
Because because you got hooked on the world and then like the world starts to grind a little bit. And then it doesn't climax as much as you do like.
A couple of good set pieces towards the end. Spoiler alert for anybody that's not played any of these games, I guess. But
we can talk about the end of Spider-Man, so I will say, Spider-Man done! I'll do this, so you can mute us when we're done spoiling it for you. And Breath of the Wild too, so we'll move on at that. That wasn't it. Mute.
But next time that he does
I won't do it again until we're done spoiling stuff.
So I like the big boss fights at the end of Spider-Man. And it was great. It did build up story-wise. I liked what the whole path of the story was taking, but...
What I think Spider-Man needed was more of those boss fights throughout.
Staggered throughout instead of all clumped at the end.
Yeah, and then they're all clumped at the end. And
but they weren't dreadfully hard either. Like I absolutely agree with you on that. They had great sort of pacing. They could have spread out those sort of set pieces a little bit more throughout. There was a few, obviously, but they really sort of clumped those last sort of boss fights at the end. But I think you played it the same way I did. I think people... They might have expected you to play one, then go do a few crimes and bases, and then play the other one, where I just went bang, bang, bang. As soon as you unlock those last few things, you're like, I can see the end of the tunnel. I need to go fight the Vulture and Rhino and do all these big things now, because it's kind of the meat of the game that you really wanted to get to.
Yeah, I was just doing the side quest until I got bored. I'm like, all right, I'm over this. I'm going to go do the story.
You've not played the DLC yet, have you? No. Okay, so I played episode 1 of the DLC. I won't say anything about it because you haven't played it. But I think it's a little bit harder. But that being said, I don't know if it's because I haven't played for a while and I'm just not so fluid with the Spider-Man mechanics as I was when I was playing it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the DLC kicked up the difficulty just a little bit. Like, I found myself replaying the first couple of missions, which are a little bit different. They added a few things that aren't quite the same as the main campaign. And I found myself failing a few times and going back, and I was totally fine with that. I'm like, great, I need to think about this differently. I can't just run in and spam the punch buttons until all the bad guys fall over.
Yeah, that was a big thing about all the bases and stuff. You just like punch, block, punch,
swing
web,
kick,
block,
web,
punch.
swing kick, swing kick, swing kick. Just kick them all off the building, then it's done.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to cheese through those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what made the boss fights at the end really good, because you sort of had to,
There's a new
dodge the little
electricity
and And
I'll be curious
do
to
things
see what
that-
you think of the DLC once you play that, because there's a couple of...
I'll get into it soon, but I'm going to play God of War first.
Each DLC part, I've only played the first one, but it's probably 3 or 4 hours. I did it in 2 play sessions, I think. 2 or 3 play sessions, which was fine. I was happy with the length because there's 2 more of them to go. Couple of good set pieces in there, a couple of good sequences that, I think it's the right direction for that kind of game to have gone. And I think a little bit harder.
That's good.
Yeah, I'd like to... I always play all of these games on the hardest difficulty too, which basically does nothing except ramp up the battle damage in a lot of it. Same with God of War, I played that on hard. And that's probably the one game that I really was reconsidering putting it down on easy halfway through the game, because it got really freaking hard. And it's just...
I started God of War on normal. Because I started Spider-Man on hard and I died like 3 times in the tutorial just because I wasn't used to the combat.
Yeah.
I could have turned it back up towards the end.
We're not
Probably
talking about
should've.
the end game of Spider-Man and stuff anymore. That the people know they can unmute you now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
spoilers
God of
are
War.
gone.
I really like the battles of God of War, but gosh, playing it on like the hardest difficulty at the time got super hard in the middle game, and that wasn't even the. I'll leave that alone until you finish that one too, because there's some tough stuff in that too. Optional tough stuff too. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. Then if you really want to challenge, there's some optional stuff that you can do on top of that, and that's kick your ass.
Yeah, that's good. I like good challenges like that in the beginning and mid game. Like I was saying with Breath of the Wild, you fight a Lionel, early to mid game. You're like, there's so many different ways to beat it and get around it that it makes it really exciting and a good challenge. But then once you've got everything, the challenges, they're gone almost. Like
it does ramp up a little with the different color variations of enemies start to come in.
Yeah, and then
afterwards,
it got to the point where you get the mirror shield and even the walkers. What are they called? Guardians. Well, even the Guardians are pretty easy. I haven't even finished the DLC to that. I'm not a big DLC person. I think I would like to finish. I like to 100% a game. I love. I'll 100% a game that I love, and then I'll put it down forever.
I played a lot of the DLC for that one, but I didn't like the way that they presented it. Like, the first DLC pack was just like a tower. You finish one room, you do another room, finish another room, then another
the
room.
Master Sword thing. Yeah, I didn't even get through that. I died in the second to last room, and I
only save every however many, reset it every however many
that was
levels,
just
whatever.
like a challenge. And then the extra DLC, I tried to do that, the Ballad of the Champions or whatever the bloody hell it was. And the first thing was you get half a heart, but you kill enemies in one hit, and you got to fly into this dark area with a bunch of chews. And I just kept dying. I was like, I don't like this type of
I didn't
stealthy challenge, and it just annoyed me, and I put it down forever.
It's great for people that want that kind of hardcore challenge in a game that they already love, but I just didn't really appreciate just going from 0, like I said, the difficulty wasn't hard by the end, 0 to 100% difficulty. And I'm not really a huge fan of just challenge rooms like that. You're in a boxed off area. The whole point of Breath of the Wild was this massive sandbox game where you can go anywhere, jump off the plateau right at the beginning of the game, go in any direction you want, do whatever you want, get killed a bunch of times because you've wandered into the wrong area, and then suddenly you're in 4 walls with a bunch of dudes, and you've just got to figure it out.
I didn't mind it too much, but then when I died at the end, I was like, I don't want to try again.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
The Mario Rabbids DLC was really good. Well, that was the same thing they did. They released DLC challenges, like a bunch of super hard challenges, and I did all the super hard ones that came with the game, and I enjoyed them. But once I was done, I was like, "Yep, 100% triumphant." And then they're like, "Here's some more challenges." I'm like,
no, not for me.
No thanks. But then they released the extra story.
No thanks, I'm full.
The Donkey Kong, and it was like, you don't have any of your progression. It's like a new. It's a new extra step to the game, and I really enjoy that type of DLC. Just like, here's, another version of the game. Basically, it's like another third of the game tacked onto the end. But at the
I
beginning.
dig that. That's a great way to do it. That, or just here's the same sandbox you've been playing in, but we put a few more toys here, there, and there. Those are the type of DLCs that I can really get into.
Hey, dog. You'll shut up in a sec. Movies? Do you want to talk movies?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, what was your big... we went through that. Now, what's your big game of 2019? Do you know yet? Cyberpunk?
I'm really
Anthem?
keen for Cyberpunk. Nah, I don't know about Anthem. I'm I'm EA shy nowadays.
Yeah, that's
EA is
Fuck
EA.
I'm not getting hyped for anything anymore, to be honest.
That being said, I have watched, when we talked about it online a couple of days ago or whatever. I actually went and watched a little bit of footage from the game, because I just shied away from it for a long time. I hadn't really watched anything except for the first release trailers and what the very first footage that came out. So I watched a bit of the updated stuff, and it's third-person Destiny with flying, and I'd been hearing the internet say a lot about that, and I thought, it's just the internet being the internet.
The flying does look cool.
It does look. It looks beautiful. The world looks great. The whole thing looks great, but it looks. I'm not going to stop playing Destiny anytime soon. That's kind of my go-to. I go back to that all the time. It's my live game. There's stuff to do every week. People get pissed off at it, but I still love it.
Yeah.
Bungie seem to be on the right path with the way that they're doing their seasonal releases now and new content here and there. A few speed bumps in the last release, but like it's given more. They just tack on some more endgame stuff to do. Here's a bunch more endgame stuff. Here's new weapons to get, new stuff to race after. I have a feeling Anthem's going to be a lot like it. They're going to have the same thing. You're going to have a campaign that you're going to blitz through in a week.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be the end game grind where you're just going after new loot and new whatever.
I've never been into any of those end games. And every game like I want to be excited about, a lot of them have that. Like Diablo 3 was all about that
nowadays. Yeah.
Grind for loot. I don't want grind for loot.
Well, I do love the Destiny thing because I can just pick it up and play it for half an hour and put it back down. And, I know I'm going to progress that little bit and I'm going to keep going towards my end goal. Everyone else is at 650, the highest light level. I'm not yet, and I don't care. I'm behind, but it's got stuff to do still. I don't have time for 2 games like that, so I can see maybe I'll pick up Anthem, maybe I'll play the campaign, but I'll probably put it down after that. Cyberpunk though.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I don't want to think about MMOs. I don't even want to think about Red Dead. Like it came out and everyone's hyped about it, and I was like, don't get sucked into hype.
A long
See
game.
if people are still, and the hype's died, and now I don't want it.
But
So that's my thing about 2019. I'm like,
Sure.
I'm not going to buy
the
any game on release unless it's
I
like.
don't think the hype's really died of Red Dead though. Like I think people have finished the campaign now, so you're not hearing about that as much. I just don't think the online portion is going to be anywhere near as big as GTA.
Yeah, but like the hype has died. Like everyone on Facebook was talking about it for like 2 weeks, and that's what I'm talking about. Like I'll buy games in that time, and a lot of people did. They see all of that, and like it just starts snowballing. Everyone's like, well, everyone's talking about this game. I've got to get it now. Everyone's not talking about Red Dead. They're still talking about it, and they're still playing it. Obviously, it's like a good game. It's probably got like legs. But
do you expect that kind of hype to stick around for single player campaign games though? Like, is that?
Yeah, I think so. Spider-Man had it. I bought Spider-Man based off that hype. Everyone was talking about it for like a solid 2 weeks, and I bought it, and I didn't regret it, and I played it, and.
Well, the same with Red Dead though. Like, no one's talking about Spider-Man still, really.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is people are still playing Red Dead, whereas people finished, and I finished Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have finished Red Dead by now.
No, I know you wouldn't.
I was like, I don't want to think about MMOs. I don't want to think about long play games. I just don't have time. Like, I get sucked into games. Like Spider-Man, I picked it up and I didn't put it down until I fucking finished it. And I want to do things like podcasts and stuff, and I don't do any of that. Because I'll sit down on my computer and like my PlayStation and the Switch are right there. So whatever game, whether it's PC, Switch or whatever, I'm like, what can I do now? I could work on some graphics or like write a podcast or come out here and clean. And I just pick up Spider-Man. I'll play it for 4 hours in a row. And Red Dead and MMOs and stuff, I can't afford to get sucked into something that's going to give me 150 hours.
And that's the thing too. That's such a different mindset to the way I used to be in, say, my 20s and stuff. I wanted those 100+ hour games.
Yeah.
If a game didn't have 100 hours in them, that's bullshit. Like, I don't want these 10-hour campaigns. Now I'm like, where's a 10-hour campaign I can play?
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I've finished something this month. Because, again, Destiny I will always go back to, but there's no completion. You're always chasing something new, and that's great for what it is.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Spider-Man DLC. I'm happy I left it all until it was all out, so I can play it all if I wanted to. But I'm also glad that I could finish one of the parts in like 3 days. And I finished and I sat back and I'm like, great, I've accomplished something this week. I finished that DLC part.
Yeah, when I saw God of War, when you lent it to me, I looked at time to beat, and it was like 25 to 30 hours. I was like, yes, perfect. That's what I want.
If you take
I want a
your
masterful
time,
game in like 30 hours.
If you take your time, it's 30 to 40 hours. It depends how much side stuff. I sidetracked a bit. I probably did 45 to 50 on my first playthrough. But that's because I found most of the collectible stuff and all the extra bits as
yeah.
well.
But yeah, you know,
Not
like just
100%.
you just want a good
Absolutely.
arc. The same with TV shows.
I think that was
like,
one of the best paced games that I've played for a long time too.
Like length doesn't make quality.
No, absolutely.
It's like think about TV shows and movies as well. Like Breaking Bad is probably renowned as one of the best TV shows of all time, and I would not argue with that. Like, that's my opinion. I'm just glad everyone agrees with my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it too.
And what was that? 5 seasons?
Yeah,
something like that. And then you've got like Seinfeld, which was 9.
Yeah.
And have you tried to did you watch a lot of Seinfeld when it was first out?
Yeah,
It's not that good. And I will argue with anyone. I was like, look, I've watched bits and pieces, but I've never watched it through. So I went back like this year, I think, or last year. Sorry, 2018. I was like, I'm gonna watch it from the beginning. It's not that good. It's if you don't remember not so for you and all the funny punchlines and whatever.
No, I don't even think they save it. So you didn't watch a lot of it back in the day. I did, and I really liked it as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Back then, Jodie and I went back and watched it, a lot of it last year as well, and I can't do it. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. They are all awful people, and it makes me uncomfortable watching these group of awful people just be awful to each other and everybody around them. And the comedy isn't enough to get you over that sort of.
Well, Always Sunny is hilarious, and they're awful.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true. That's a really.
But they're funnier.
But that's the comedy is enough to make you love these dreadful people. Like that's a really good comparison actually, because Sunny is fantastic. And
and like they never really want you to like them as people.
That's right.
But yeah, so interesting thing about Seinfeld, it didn't even rate that well back in the day. The reason it kept going is because it was one of the only shows that advertisers could get the sort of 18 to 30 males.
Sure.
So they had a big following in that demographic.
Yep.
So the advertisers kept them afloat, even though the first few seasons didn't rate well.
Yeah,
because it's not that good.
It's all about that ad revenue.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. So games, I want short games. So I'm keen for Cyberpunk. I'm keen for Outer Worlds. I don't give a fuck about
Outer Worlds going to look pretty good too. I like seeing...
I'm even keen for Rage 2.
Yeah, I didn't get much into Rage.
I never played Rage, but Rage 2 looks good, and it kind of will feel a bit of the Fallout hole that 76 sort of left in everyone, I think.
Sure.
Hopefully.
I think it feels a bit too much like a few other things that are coming out too. Like, have you seen?
Oh my god, there's so many post-apocalyptic shooters.
Colourful post-apocalyptic shooters. See, that's the difference. The main thing, we had all the Fallouts before, and we had the browns and the greens, and now we're going the rainbow-coloured.
But there's even still Fallout and Outer Worlds and all that.
Sure.
So if you think about post-apocalyptic shooters, there's a Venn diagram, and post-apocalyptic shooter is the middle thing, and then they're all sort of different in their own way, but they're all post-apocalyptic
Go back
shooters.
And watch the trailer for Rage 2, and then watch the trailer for the Far Cry 5.5 that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
And they're the same game. Look the same.
Post-apocalyptic now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't hate what
funny.
Far Cry have been doing though. They've been releasing a game and then releasing a 0.5.
Yeah.
And all of those 0.5 games have been pretty good. It's usually just a reskin on top of the old map. Primal was probably the most out there one. It was still the same map, but they just took you back and made you a caveman and gave you spears and stuff instead. And that's fine.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Before that was Blood Dragon, which was the same map as, what are we talking about, 2 then, I think? Far Cry 2 or Far Cry 3? But it's just fluoro colours, and you're riding the back of a Tyrannosaurus Rex with lasers on its head. This one, what they've done is they've taken the latest game and they set it a bunch of years in the future. I think it's about 17, 18 years in the future, after some bombs have dropped. So what they can do is they can take the same map, wipe it clean, put some new stuff in it, and go off like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Isn't that sort of what New Vegas did as well with Fallout 3? Same engine.
Same engine. The same map was completely different.
Yeah,
it was very different, and it was done by different people as well.
But it's still it's giving people what they want sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel so. It's a good system. Not the
an
specifics are
for
different.
A game, not a DLC pack for a game.
Yeah, just a new game, but same engine. People buy that shit up.
Yeah.
Why not? New Vegas is sort of talked about as one of the best Fallouts, and those Far Cry's. I'm sure all the Far Cry fans fucking love it. Like
with the Fallout thing though, it was because it was made by a different group from Fallout 3, and it was much more RPG based than it was than Fallout 3.
I played it for the first time, I think 2018.
Yeah.
So that was my game in 2018.
Sure.
Yeah, it got me.
That, didn't you?
It got me super keen on 76, which was, I mean, like I wasn't super let down, but at the same time, we haven't played it.
Yeah.
We got to a level 10. Oh, your PC's crapping out a bit, but like,
yeah.
But still, I haven't been like itching to play it. Like, and like I said moments ago, when I pick up a game, I get into it and I just want to
dive in. You
get to the end, but then you couldn't help but hear that the end was nothing. Like nothing much.
I think that was the main thing. Is I think the internet ruined that a lot for me too, though, because when you're hearing everybody saying, "Yeah, you're not going to like the progression of the story," there's not a lot of story. Then the end game's not that strong. It puts
but it's also like
on you that
there wasn't.
I really want to sit down and play it. If that's what I'm gonna get to the end, I'm gonna fight a Scorch Beast or two, and then sort of go, "What do I do now?"
But even then, like it's hard to get into the story without the NPCs. Like I liked the idea of what they were thinking, but like the holotapes when you're talking to teammates, it's really hard to focus on. And they didn't have subtitles when we played in the beta and stuff, so you're just like, where are we going next? Oh, I'm upgrading my armor or whatever. And then this person's like, we were hurt, and
I missed
cutting
out on
in and
so
out.
many audio tapes when we were talking to each other, because you just pick them up because you walk across them or whatever. Yeah,
so I think like Elder Scrolls Online did it well, because the story you didn't really have to play with other people, so I'd get hooked on the story bits and I'd play them by myself. And even the main quest in the first bit of Elder Scrolls, you couldn't play with other people, so they had that story bit that gets you hooked, and then like the other bits you just play with the other people. And Fallout was just all the other bits.
Can't imagine playing Fallout 76 solo, really.
That's the thing. Like, there's nothing that makes me want to go in there when you're not able to play or whatever.
There is mission lines that you can do, I guess, and you can follow along from one mission to another mission and whatnot. But why? Because you just be grinding. It's just, again, I'm going.
It felt like you were grinding from the beginning. Like nothing ever felt like a Fallout game where they're just they're just like, you got to find the person that shot you. Like New Vegas, you're like, oh, I've got to find the person who shot me. I really want to do that. Whereas like Fallout 76, we're like, where do we go now? It's like, here on the map looks like it's got some other level 8s, so that we won't die instantly there. So let's go over there. But there's nothing, like even the holotapes, just like it's over here, and you're like,
sure,
I don't care about you. Like,
it's more just I'm following a path that's already been, especially with those first
following a quest marker, not like an NPC that I cared about for whatever amount of time.
It's a video game that feels like a video game, because I'm definitely just following from point A to point B because the game tells me to go from point A to point B. Whereas if you allow yourself to get immersed in one of those story Fallout games, you're literally trying to find your father or find the next part of the quest line, and I want to take down this whole group of people because they said this about these characters that I've been hanging out with for the last 25 hours, so I'm going to go blow them up or whatever.
It is funny though, because we defended it for so long.
Yeah,
because everyone's just like, oh, it's the worst game ever. Like, no, we had good fun when we played it, and then we just
wasn't dreadful.
But then we didn't go back.
Yeah, it's just true.
So we're just like, I mean, there are better games, but it is okay.
You can kind of blame that on my PC a little bit though, because it was at the same time that my PC started breaking down that we sort of dropped it for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you don't want to go, like, if you're not going, shit, man, fix your shit so we can actually go back and play it, it's probably because you don't really feel the need to go back to it.
Yeah.
And I've got so many other games on my plate at the same time as well.
Skyrim has now had a mod released where you can play 8-person co-op.
8-person co-op, yeah.
So I think that would be fun. I think that's sort of what Fallout 76 should have done. Just had like small, because I'd love to play Fallout with you.
Sure.
And no one else.
Sure.
I'd rather just have like the enemies than like other people.
Yeah.
Like I streamed on the first day of Fallout, make my character get out of the vault. I'm streaming on Twitch, to no one, but that's not important. I'll be famous one day.
One day.
But yeah, get out into the world. First person I see. So I've got the mic on for
area chat.
Twitch, and they like in the beta they didn't let you turn area chat. Oh, they let you turn area chat off, but they didn't have a push to speak button.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking to the like viewers, be like, "Hey guys, it's your boy Brand Brightside." And then some guy, I was like, "I wonder if this guy can hear me." He's like, "I can hear you." I was like, "Oh, okay." So there's no push to talk. So, well, what's up? And then some enemies start attacking. He's like, "Oh, let's go kill this N-word."
Yep.
First person,
Right.
first thing he
Very
says,
first person out
drops
of
the
the vault.
N-bomb on my
Right.
stream, and I'm like,
It's
the
like
general populace.
it's like 4 words you don't want to say on your stream, and you drop the first one within 2 minutes of walking out.
Yeah, there's four words I can think of off the top of my head,
Yeah.
and that's the number one word.
Yeah.
And just like,
Sure.
come on, man. And like, first thing I do, turn area chat off. But yeah, I don't want to play with other people. I just want to play with my friends.
Sure.
But
Do you
like,
know how the Skyrim mod's going to work that way? Is it?
I feel like you'd have to join someone's game,
You
kind
reckon
of like
it's gonna be like
Stardew
a-
Valley
yeah, sure.
co-op. Just
'Cause I want to
joining.
know, like, if we decide to walk off in different directions and start to talk to different NPCs, it's going to mess up, like,
Quest lines
quest
and
logs
stuff.
and quest lines. What if you're doing a quest line, like you've opened
Surely
up a
they'd
quest
just
line
take the
and-
same sort of MMO thing. Everyone has the same
You reckon?
quest lines. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. You can
Being a
because you can
mod.
affect the world
yeah,
as well.
exactly. Like, what if I go and kill the guy that gave you the quest line, or, you know, I would actively seek out to try to mess up the quest for you just for fun as well. You know, you're being super sneaky, and I'll just run in there and like double axe to the face.
Yeah, just kill the NPC you're talking to.
Yeah.
Like at the very you wait for I'd wait for you to do every bit of the quest, like going off gathering all the different resources this guy needs, and then as you're walking up, I kill that dude and just run away from the
Right.
guards, and you're just stuck with like 8 bags of wheat and then three bottles of milk. Well, that'd be the best. Now I want to play it. Let's get that mod.
We should check it out though. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna start downloading it right after this is done.
It's already released. Closed beta, right?
I just want to say real quick, there's someone in the chat, the Twitch chat. We're doing this as a live recording. I might edit this out for YouTube, but we'll deal with all the questions at the end, which shouldn't be too far off. But there are some other things I want to deal with.
Sure.
We've done most of these. Switch is set to overtake Xbox in total sales this year if projections are accurate.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so the Xbox One is in what, it's for X amount of years,
Yeah.
and Switch is obviously
This many
entering
years.
its 3rd
Yep.
year, and to overtake it's pretty huge. It's because Xbox doesn't sell in Japan. It's pretty crazy. Like a lot of our like internet and like commentary,
Yeah.
a lot of our stuff comes because we're in Australia, so a lot of our stuff comes from like the UK, US, and Australia.
Yep.
And there's so many people that just think like that's the world.
Yeah. Sure.
And you know, there was evidence at the Blizzard thing when they're like, we're releasing a mobile game, and everyone in the US
Oh,
is
that
like,
was fun.
no one asked for that. And they don't account for the fact that the biggest gaming company in the world is Tencent.
Yeah.
In their basically the Chinese mobile gaming market is out of control. Big China's coming, everyone. Get
Numbers bigger
scared.
than every other console put together.
Yeah, so you know,
Ridiculous amount.
and you can't ignore those numbers as a developer. So every developer
Absolutely.
wants a piece of that pie. And then when it comes to like Japan, like they don't buy Xbox. It's really interesting because you'll see in America, Xbox probably almost even edges out PS4, and Americans think it's like Xbox versus PS4. This big
Sure.
two like
The marketing campaigns will
the
make
two
you think that,
the
right?
two titans going at it, but it's not that way in real life.
It's the America box and the other
Yeah,
gaming consoles.
and PS4 is just like, it is the titan,
Yeah.
and they're having like this, you know, war in America, and in America it might be 50-50, but in Japan they only buy PS4s and they buy Switches because they don't have like, if you've been to Japan, viewer, and you've stayed in one of the hotels, you will understand why the Switch is so popular.
Yeah,
Because there's no room for a TV. Like
Yeah, okay.
we had a little, in every one of our hotels we had a little TV and like a corner desk,
Yeah.
and the room is tiny and you can hear everyone pooping. Like, that's why all the
Sure.
bidets play music.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
if you want to go to the bathroom with privacy,
Everything's so nice and close.
yeah. So Switch is massive there because like, you know, you have a
Space
tiny
saving.
TV. You'd rather sit there with it, and everyone's catching trains everywhere, so you can pull
I
it
heard
out.
that's one of
that's-
the reasons the PSVR sold very well in Japan too.
Yeah, well,
Lots
if
of-
you can't
lots
have
of
a big
apartment buildings and stuff.
yeah,
no
if you can't have a big
TVs.
TV, you put it on your head and it's right there.
Yeah, and a lot of people were using it to just watch TV
Yeah,
and watch movies
for media.
and stuff on
That
That's
makes
fantastic.
makes so much sense.
100-inch TV suddenly in an apartment that can't even accommodate a 50-inch or whatever. Why
The
not?
3DS was outselling the PS4 for a while.
Yeah, wow.
Like, before the Switch came out, and
Yeah.
PS4 obviously took over, and it was PS4, 3DS, everything else. Obviously, like Xbox and Wii U were
Yeah.
bottom barrel. But then, the Switch has just hit that perfect niche for them. It's got all the great first parties, which makes it appealing everywhere else. And then it sells really well in America and everywhere. So the worldwide sales are going to overtake Xbox.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's been out for, what, 2 years?
Yeah, it's just
2 years.
Nintendo, like, everyone's like, they should just move on. Because, I don't know, it's such a crazy thing. The commentary on what Nintendo does is so, like, and what console games should be. Everyone's like, I want first-party AAA titles.
Sure.
I was like, I like them.
Yeah, sure.
I like them in my array of things, but I like having God of War there ready for me with a 30-hour campaign of just, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
And the controls are amazing. It's impeccable. It's an impeccable game. It's going to be 30 hours of awe as well as fun. But in the meantime,
story.
When I don't have, but yeah, like I said, if I want to sit down and play God of War, I want to sit down for 3 hours,
Sure.
2 to 3 hours at least.
Sure.
And I want to be immersed in like
Have
an
that proper
entire
session.
segment of the game.
Get a
It's
chapter
probably
done, like really get involved.
Yeah, and you just like a movie.
Switch the world off for a while.
It's like watching a movie. Like you sit down and commit to it. But then I have my Switch, and right now I'm playing like new Super Mario U,
Sure.
which I had on the Wii U. But now I can sit down, and I can play a level of that, and that's like chucking on a YouTube video or a short podcast or a TV show or something.
Gap fillers.
Yeah, it fills the gap.
When you
so
don't
like,
want to sit down for a sesh.
and people just don't seem to realize that there's so much room for both of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they think Nintendo, and people don't want to have both, and not everyone can afford both,
Sure.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I get that, but Nintendo are going to hold on to those first party titles
Oh, absolutely.
to sell those consoles, and people want them to put them on PS4. That's just never going to happen. It'd be game over. Imagine that, like Nintendo's like, all right, we're not making a console next run. We're partnered with Sony, and we're going to put all our games on PS4. That's
Cool.
Xbox done.
That's excellent. Yeah.
And the reason Xbox is going to be overtaken is because they released something that does exactly what the PlayStation does, and they're like, we got more processing power, and everyone's like, we don't care that much, because developers can't keep up with it. They can't make games that won't play on the PS4 almost the same, because that's shooting themselves in the foot.
Absolutely.
Like, developers want it on everything, so
Yeah, you can really see that in a few games as well. You can tell that it's been wound back to make sure it can run on the Xbox and run on that, and run on the Switch now too.
Yeah, do you know what I found interesting as well with that? Is like when one of my mates had the PS4 Pro,
Sure.
and the rest of us in our Elder Scrolls Online party were all on PS4s, and his took the longest to load.
Oh, really?
Because it was loading more textures, like higher graphics.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were like, come out of a cave, and we're just waiting for him.
Yeah,
We're
wow.
like, I'm sure that looks great, but
Is that
hurry the fuck up.
Is that loading, or he just had a crappy internet connection?
No, because he was in the same house as his missus who was on a PS4.
Yeah, wow. That's ridiculous, isn't
So
it?
they had the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
And they were like,
I'm sure it looked pretty, though.
Yeah, it probably looks slightly better.
That extra colours, man.
It does make a difference, though. That was the one game, because I played it on PC for so long, and then I played it on PS4, and it was harder to find things because the textures didn't load as far away. And PC, like when you sit at a PC, you sit at a PC.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you play like couch, it's like further away, and when it's further away even though it's bigger with less graphics, and like the TV is probably not as good as the monitor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really noticeable. So I get why some people would want that extra processing power for that type of situation, but for me, it was just never worth upgrading.
No, nor I. I mean, I was considering doing it just for the PSVR stuff, because it would help out with a little bit of that, but I don't know, until I buy a nice big 4K TV and everything goes that way.
Did you see there's 8K TVs being advertised?
Oh, the big Samsung.
That's so funny. They're just like, we have 8K now, and everyone's like, we haven't got to 4K yet. There's nothing for 4K. Just
and what, it's like 100-inch guy too, the 8K that Samsung's been advertising. It's ridiculous.
It's so
dumb. Monster.
They're like, oh, you want a 4K? Don't get 4K. We made it obsolete without 8K.
Well,
dude, stop it.
Well, except for video games and stuff.
You like DVDs? We got Blu-rays.
Yeah, there's not a lot of stuff that's like even broadcasting in 4K yet.
No, there's nothing.
Especially not here in Australia, where our internet connection can barely handle.
The only thing I want in 4K is games, and developers just aren't there yet.
Nah, they won't be. It's
development cycle's crazy. Like that's why everyone's still complaining because things are coming out later on the Switch.
Sure.
But Reggie has said like 4 times. He's like, they started making these games before Switch was
even a thing.
A thing.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, give it time. The games that are starting to be made now will come out on Switch at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't care about Mortal Kombat 11 anyway, so
they have to
come out later. Who gives
Switch
a shit?
has been out for 2 years. Like,
it's
they
crazy.
wanted it to be where the PlayStation and where Xbox is, and they've got what 5 years at least right now for the PlayStation, maybe longer.
Yeah, it's been out forever.
Ridiculous.
So what's the next gen going to be? Are we going to see a new Switch this year? Actually, that's more interesting. I don't care about PS5. Yeah. Well, there's just rumors. There's rumors about a new Switch. Is it going to be?
What's the new Switch? New, better screen,
Well,
I guess. Higher resolution.
So there's two key theories that are going around.
Sure.
Is like Switch XL, which is going to have better battery and bigger screen.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more
Same
processing.
As what they do with the DSs all the time.
Yeah, like bigger, better. You know, like iPhone X Plus, or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely.
They all do that.
Makes sense. That's kind
so
of
one of those. That's
Nintendo's marketing thing. They've done that for a while.
Yeah, some people are predicting it goes that way. Others are predicting it's going to be smaller.
Sure.
And it's going to have like the two Joy-Cons sort of just attached to it, and it's not going to be come with a dock. It's just going to come as just a handheld.
So would that mean the end of the Game Boy line,
the 3DS,
the 3DS line?
Well, I don't think it's going to happen because it's called the Switch because you switch the way you play it. I don't like what. And there's so many games where. Like Mario Party for one, you have to play with detached Joy-Cons.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess like you could still pair Joy-Cons to it, even if it had ones on the side. But I don't see it. Why would you have them on the side? Like when the Joy-Cons already exist. I don't think
the attached sort of new handheld being the Switch thing is going to happen. Like you said, there's just too many reasons for it not to. But do you think that
I could see them potentially releasing it for cheaper without a dock, and
like buy a dock separate if you want to,
I could see them releasing it without
bits.
a dock, but I don't know if it then has like if they release an adapter that lets you cast the TVs without a dock, but
it's just too much. That's just extra stuff then, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know what they do with it.
Like if I was to predict, I'd say the bigger screen, not even bigger screen, I'd just say higher resolution screen, better battery, etc. would be the
if they
way
made a
for
bigger
them to
screen,
go.
I'd potentially trade mine in and upgrade it.
Yeah, really?
Depending on the cost,
but that's
obviously.
The thing, like I think they've got the size sort of perfect. Any bigger, and then you're getting to it's not really as like proper portable anymore.
Have you played much handheld?
Yeah, I play handheld heaps.
Do you have a grip?
No.
Oh man, I've been trying to play new Super Mario U handheld, and I need a grip.
Yeah, really.
Just the platforming because it's so quick and stuff. I like cramp up so quickly. I play
like Binding of Isaac is my main.
Yeah, I've played a lot of games handheld, and they didn't cramp until I played for a while.
Sure,
but this one cramps real quick.
Twin stick shooter, so you're not doing
you're not
anything
switching
super fast. You're not.
And with Mario, because you're constantly holding run.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're holding it like all the time, and just like
Yeah, I haven't played many games like that with handheld mode. Usually it's docked Pro Controller for those type of games, I guess too. So
yeah.
Yeah, right. I could see that. Yeah, so you definitely upgrade for a bigger screen, bigger battery.
I'm not gonna say definitely,
but like you'd consider.
Yeah, I'd consider upgrading to a bigger screen.
What do you think is going to happen with Nintendo's 3DS line now that the Switch is a portable?
It's going to phase out.
They say all in one.
Yeah, I mean, like what their biggest games are starting, like Fire Emblem and Pokemon are starting to be released on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll get rid of it. So maybe they will bring a smaller one in, a cheaper one somehow to bridge that gap.
Yeah,
not anytime soon. I think they've got a few years of legs in it.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's got such a huge library as it is.
Yeah.
So like, it's got plenty of selling points, but I don't know. Because they've stopped with the Wii U. What they were doing was releasing a lot of games, a lot of Wii U games on the 3DS.
Yep.
So they'd release Mario Maker on both, Smash Bros was on both.
Yep.
But they've stopped doing that, which I think is a bad sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, let's movies. No, well, let's not do movies.
Sure.
Let's see movies in it because there's a lot of big movies, and we're sort of
we're
already past the hour mark. So
yeah, that'll be a big conversation. Just getting into a couple.
Yeah,
of
we'll do that next time
because
we've got like 3 big Marvel ones coming up. They've all released their trailers. All right, there's one thing I do want to do with you.
Okay.
I've got a little segment at the end, and it's
called
segment.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be our closer segment. It's called Big Dick Energy. So Big Dick Energy was a term that really came to fruition in 2018. Basically, for those that don't know what it is, it's when someone, a man, but not necessarily, just exhibits that energy, that that underlying confidence
Sure.
that just makes you think they're pack and hog. They're real good. They've got Subway.
They're smuggling sausage.
Subway Italian footlong sandwich just down there. They know it and they act like they know it. They've just got that. Like Barack Obama was one of the ones. They just like. I mean, you sort of assume he's like a really tall black man, and he's just got that swagger.
That's
we're just like you're moving it. You're just like swagging a bit just to feel it slap against your thigh. So what I've done is I've picked 3 characters from the gaming world.
Okay.
So we're gonna embark on a little journey.
Let's go on an adventure. We're going on an adventure.
So 3 famous characters. And what I want you to do
All right.
is pick the one you think exhibits big dick energy. It's probably pack and hog. I want you to pick one that you think has small dick energy, which is the opposite, just the overcompensation of personality, and then the in-betweener. So for anyone listening, we have Wario in a seductive pose. We have Waluigi with his fight and ready, and Bowser with his arms crossed. But don't just take these photos for,
No, of course.
you know these characters.
Yeah.
You know these 3 characters. Which one do you think's got a bloody monster swinging around? And I know Bowser's naked. Let's just pretend it's tucked up under that little breastplate.
Yeah, he's got a little, some retractable kind of doohickey going on there.
So one of these guys is
some
overcompensating.
weird cloaca hiding.
One of these guys knows he's got a satisfactory Festivus pole, and one of these guys is just going about their business as an average human being, or dinosaur.
Or dinosaur Cooper.
So talk it out.
All right, it might be the obvious choice, but I reckon Wario is the big dick energy. Have you seen the way that man acts in half of his games? WarioWare is one of my favorite little Easter eggs in WarioWare. Is when you put an amiibo on the thing, he paints pictures of them.
Oh,
and he paints these really dodgy little crappy pictures of everybody, and then you put a Wario amiibo on there and he paints this sexy picture of himself. Doesn't look anything like the actual Wario character.
The Fabio.
He's Fabio. He's pretty. He's beautiful.
Rose in the mouth.
I just love that. That's one of my favorite concept parts of Wario's character. And just every time you see him, he's chubby, he's big, he doesn't care. He's the big dick energy right there. He loves himself.
You don't think the motorbike and the drawing yourself as thing is like a compensation?
Overcompensation? Maybe. I don't know. He just seems way too confident for it to not be true.
Oh, that's true. He's a thick man. He could have some girth.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have the length, he could have girth.
He's as wide as he is long.
So talk about the other 2. You got Bowser and Waluigi.
I don't know. I reckon Bowser might be the compensator.
You think?
Yeah.
Has to steal the girl?
Why he's always kidnapping the girl. Either that or she's in on it. That's another story. I think they've just been dating for 20 years.
She's not running away because he's got that good dinosaur.
No.
D.
No. Well, he did have a bunch of kids once, and now he doesn't.
He's got a lot of kids.
Well, he doesn't, though. In canon, he's only got one now. They
Bowser
erased,
Jr.
They erased all the old ones, didn't they? That was
they're still about, but are they not?
No, I don't
Maybe
think
they're
they
not
are.
his.
I can't remember what the story was. I was pretty sure they got erased from canon, and now it's just Bowser Jr.
People that talk about Mario canon can go die.
Right.
Oh my god, the Bowsette thing! And then someone the Bowsette thing came to its stunning canon conclusion recently when Nintendo released a statement going,
"No,
sorry guys, only Toadette can use this."
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Well, I guess it's canon that Peachette doesn't exist." God damn it! Talking about Mario canon, he doesn't even talk.
Right?
He says "Waha."
He says, "Oh no,
Mamma mia!" That's a go. Yeah, he's got plenty of phrases in canon.
I want to know who Bowser Jr.'s mum is too. That's a story they need to tell one day. But yeah, no, I think Bowser's compensating. He's stealing people. He's building huge castles, putting death traps everywhere.
Yeah, he's really got that dude, just relax.
Just calm down.
Just calm down. It's not so bad.
You've got 8 different castles in order to hide one princess.
I mean, your dick works. You've got a kid.
You've got a kid.
It doesn't matter the size.
You've got proof. You've had sex at least once. Waluigi's just doing his thing.
He's just a weird dude.
He's a weird dude, but yeah, he's just...
Yeah, I don't think he reeks of either big or small dick energy.
He's just him.
But he is a bit manic.
Oh no,
It's
absolutely.
just a bit pissed off.
Yeah, you'd be too if you were
Left out of
Waluigi.
Smash.
Don't even get me started. I was that guy that was forwarding every meme about Waluigi that I could find when he got left out of Smash. Oh,
Yeah.
but he's going to be in it, but he's not an actual playable character.
It's just
No, fuck
trophy.
you. He's only available. You can only use Waluigi in party games except for Smash. It's bullshit. No, Waluigi all the way.
Yeah, like, it still boggles me why they didn't do it.
Especially, I just wanted to see them when they started announcing their DLC. I just wanted to see them go, all right, we've listened to our fans. We know you want him. Here's Waluigi.
It's gonna break the internet.
It's going to break the
I
internet.
love that they
and
put Piranha Plant in.
Yeah, right? Where did
God
that
damn.
come from?
Anyway, well, let's wrap this up.
Alrighty. Cool.
So, Big Dick, Wario.
Wario.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep a track of this,
Big Dick Energy Wario.
and
Little
we're
Dick
gonna find the
Bowser.
biggest dick in gaming.
The biggest dick in gaming,
But
alright.
for now,
Sure.
that's it. That's our first episode.
done.
That's a little. That was good.
We did it. We did it, Mom.